Supercross World Cup here in Manchester, England, Great Britain. I'm Jason, sitting here with
Richard Eames. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm doing just fine, We have a great BMX event to bring to you today. Round number two of a 10-part series for the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup.
Absolutely. I'm just wondering, more exciting than it was yesterday. All the action we had.
I think it actually can. I actually think it can. So there's the schedule, and we are going to begin with round one of both the men and women elite. And those that do not get fourth or better will move on to the last chance qualifier, where they are only taking 2 out of that. And then they go into single elimination, 16ths and 8ths and quarters and semifinals on to the final, whittling it down to the best, well, at least the fastest 8 riders, ones that survive even to the final.
It's going to be extreme day racing. It's going to be so fast. I mean, all the action that we had yesterday, riders going down in the semi-finals, just such intensity. And as we look at the scenario around Manchester, the scenes of the actual city itself, Manchester's known as a cultural hub. We've got cafes, bars, so many things to do in this city. The shopping is absolutely amazing. Football, absolutely. We've got what could arguably be the 2 best teams in the nation, Manchester United and Manchester City. I say those in no particular order.
And you are going to start an argument.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, plenty to see and do. It's a commercial hub.
And the rain.
The rain.
It does happen from time to time.
It does happen. But the sun is shining on us here at the National Cycling Centre in Manchester.
Such a great facility. As you can see, the National Cycling Centre here in Manchester. No expense. It's too great to build such a facility. Velodrome and mountain biking, and of course, the BMX.
The BMX, I mean, look at that facility, Jason. It's been here since 2011, and it's been changed and moved around a little bit, but today we have got perfect conditions.
How's the weather? How's the weather in here?
The weather's great in here. The sun is shining. All right, it's electric and it's on the roof, but we don't mind. It's indoors, it's 18 degrees, absolutely no wind. Perfect BMX conditions.
Wind always a factor on the outdoor tracks and the possibility of rain, but that is not the case here. So there are your standings after one event. Eurostade at the top of the heap, the winner of round one, followed by Ren Carell and Sylvain Andre. Those are your top 3. In the women, Simone Christensen tops the points, followed by Judy Bow, Merle Van Bentham, Mariana Pajón, your Olympic gold medalist from the last 2 Olympic Games. That will be your top 4. The points will most likely change today, as it's rare the same people finish in the same positions 2 days in a row. This is how it's going to work. Elite men, they're going to go round 1. Those that get 4th or better will move to the 16th finals. Those that do not will move to the last chance qualifier. And then after the last chance qualifier, they will be taking 2 and only, or excuse me, at the last chance qualifier, they'll be taking 2 and only 2. Other than that, 4th or better will keep you racing, and Mr. Richard Eames is going to take you around the track.
Yeah, we are on board with Renato Rezende from Brazil, and he takes that first start hill, hitting 40 miles an hour at the bottom of the start hill, over the double, over the triple step down, into turn number 1, which is a left-hander. They move to the right-hand side, hit a small step down into the double, and then into a bigger double into that banked second turn. And as they come out of the turn, it's the new rhythm section, all one, not split into 2 parts as it has been in previous years. Moving down there, taking those jumps into the final turn, step up, small double, another on-off scenario, straight across that finish line, and that's a lap here in Manchester.
And there's a look at the elite men on top of the hill. Round 1, heat 1. Daudet, Maheu, Fantoni, Babri, Gargaglia, Furlan, and Seegers. Strong Italian contingent in this heat alone. Joris Daudet sitting in lane 1, the winner of round 1, looking to keep that streak going as we're ready. Down the hill they go. Looks like Joris Daudet beats out his countryman just next to him as Daudet keeping that wheel up into the first corner, looking kind of nice coming out of the first corner in first. Nice body English into the second corner. The Frenchman, whoa, we have a rider going down. I believe that was the Latvian of Babri, so he's going to create some havoc back there as fourth place is wide open. But it's going to be Daudet with a quite easy win down the last straightaway, followed by Maheu. Third place will be the Italian rider of Gargaglia, and Seegers bringing it in for that final qualifying position.
Yeah, Joris Daudet finished yesterday with a winning lap, and he started today. That's a great way to get his Sunday afternoon underway. So the French dominant yesterday with a 1-2-3 and looking like they're bringing the fire today. As our fallers just bring themselves across the line. Good to see that everybody's up and all right and rolling through. It's always nice to see riders just pick themselves up after a fall. Great overview shot there of the facility here at the National Cycling Centre in Manchester. Heat 2 lining up on the hill. Jeremy Rencarel in this one, yesterday's runner-up. He's on the inside next to Anderson de Souza Filo, the number 3 rider in the world. And that's your official result from the previous moto. Joris Daudet taking the win, Roman Maheu, Giacomo Gargaglia and Wouter Seegers all going through to the 16th. Fabrice Fantoni going through to the last chance qualifier. And you start list: Jeremy Rencarel, Anderson de Souza Filo, Katishev from Russia, Brescian from Switzerland, Rezende from Brazil, Kikuchi from Japan, Barbosa from France, and Michael Boyle from the USA. This is heat number 2. Round 1, heat number 2 is underway. Let's have a look who's going to get that whole shot as they head towards the first turn. Rencarel and de Souza battling into the turn. Brescian diving underneath. Katishev's in there as well. And it's Jeremy Rencarel aboard that 29 bike leading into that second turn. So he's looking good and comfortable. Rezende in there in 4. His day ended slightly earlier than he would have liked yesterday. So he needs a top 4 finish in this one. He's holding on. He's under pressure from the Russian though. Rencarel bringing it to the line. De Souza in 2. Brescian in there in 3. Who got the 4th? It's a photo finish between Katishev and Rezende. Boyle in there in 6.
Not easy to pull up on Rezende at the end of a track on the rhythm section, but Katishev managed to do it. We're going to have to go to the photo for that.
And look at that, 13 1/1000ths of a second between Renato Rezende and Alexander Katishev. That's how close it is in BMX racing.
Looks like Rezende just making it through as we move on to Heat 3, where we have Andre Bemelin, Garian, Moore, Gommers, Mir, Eberhard, and Bujaki. Like to thank Eddie Moore for letting me ride his bike on the rollers earlier today. I had a little downtime and wanted to spin my legs, so Eddie made his bike available to me, so I appreciate that. That number 1 plate in lane 1, that would be the world champion, Sylvain Andre. He comes out of the gate with a fierceness into the first corner, coming out of the first corner in first as he's going to take it nicely over the second straight. Going into the second corner, looking strong and in charge. It's Andre, Mir, Eberhard, and Moore. Mir, we haven't seen him for a while, so he's back on the circuit looking to get some feet underneath him. Off to a much better start than yesterday, so it's going to be the 2 Frenchmen going to the line first and second. Andre, Mir, Eberhard, and Moore. There you go.
Inside the top 4, going straight through to the 16th. He'll be delighted with that one. Garoyan, the reigning junior world champion.
That's right. That's right.
Outside of the top 4, so he's going to have to go through to that LCQ as well.
It's very difficult to make that jump from junior to senior. So there's your official Andre, Mir, Eberhard, and Moore. They will move on. Everyone else is going to go to the last chance qualifier. Speaking of which, going to the last chance means you have 1 more lap to do.
Yep, and as we see, Heat 4, it's Graf, Juve, Posey, Heil, Tahiko, Pointan, Tonabise, and Masuda lining up on top of that 8-meter start hill. David Graf, poised and ready. We are looking at the number 7 plate of David Graff on the inside, battling away with Stefan Heil into that first turn. So Graff, who finished 4th in round 1. Oh, 1, 2, 3. At least 6 riders gone down in that first turn. One rider who stayed upright looks like Brendan Tahiko. He's in there in 3 at the moment, but Graff is leading it out. Heil in there in 2, Tahiko in 3. The domino effect in full stream in that first turn. So Graff, no such problems. He's going to get it. Heil in 2. Tahiko in 3, and everybody picking themselves up. Looks like Justin Posey is going to be coming through for that 4th spot. He's the first person to pick himself up off the floor.
Not the way Posey would have liked to have qualified. Might leave him in a compromised position come lane choice time during the 16th. However, he lives to fight another fight. Pretty wild. 5 guys going down in the first corner. Yeah,
it doesn't take much, does it? One rider slips out. It starts a chain reaction. Somebody's too close, can't get round, runs into the back of somebody else, which takes somebody else down. And as we were saying, it's a definite domino effect because they funnel into that first turn and it just gets so tight. There's your result. David Graff taking the win. Stefan Heil in 2, Brandon Tahiko in 3, and Justin Posey of the USA in 4.
A full 10 seconds behind 3rd place.
Which is unusual.
Well, when you go down. But hey, we are on and moving on. Round 1, Heat 5. Arboleda, Sherrick, Peluard, Smith, Calixto, Bolbak, Ryushkin, and Devecki. Patty Sherrick, crowd favorite. He'll be in lane 2 for Team GB, making that final in round 1. In lane 1, we have the Colombian. Arboleda has definitely been putting in a lot of work during the offseason. Looks like Arboleda straight to the front. Peluard trying to battle him a little bit, but he looks like he's getting squeezed. Wow, look at the Team GB rider going straight from 6th to 2nd place after not having a good gate, and he still looks like he's on the hunt. So it's Arboleda, Sherrick, Peluard, and Bolbak. But Arboleda holding strong into the last corner. Wow, look at Sherrick just pumping his way through. A quite calm, cool, and collected finish for him without even trying too hard. So it seems like he's found some confidence since last night, eh?
Absolutely. It looks like Paddy's really sort of, popped the cork out of the bottle, and he's going to start pulling out some great performances, and he's lining that first turn.
I'm wondering if he showed his moves too soon.
Yeah, he carved it like a Christmas turkey, didn't he, Jason? There you go. Ospina in 1, Sherrick in 2, Peluard in 3, and Ryushkin of Russia in 4. Jeremy Smith and company having to go through to that last chance qualifier. Next up, we are looking at heat number 6. And we have Gonzalo Molina of Argentina, Liam Webster from Germany, Shane Rosa from Australia, Meye and Racine from France, Cole McConey from New Zealand, Tobias Meyer from Germany, and Hashimoto from Japan. And I think Shane Rosa might be the dark horse in this one, Jason.
He might be.
Let's take a look how he gets on as he goes down that first hill. Will the 32 plate be into the first turn first? No, he's had a terrible start, but one rider who hasn't looks like the 974 plate. That'll be Roman Meye out of France. That's Molina. He's in there in 2. Here comes the German rider, Liam Webster, working his way into 3. Racine in there in 4, but it's all about the Frenchman on the 974, Roman Meye. In and out that final turn, down that final straight. Molina looking like he's got 2nd place on lockdown. He's going to hold on to that. Webster's going to go through in 3. Racine in 4, and Shane Rosa, well, he's going to have to make it happen in the last chance qualifier.
Webster with a nice charge down the last straight. Looking strong in that lap. There's your official Molina, Webster, and Racine. So Webster not quite getting it at the finish line. Gonzalo Molina, known for those strong first straights. Also another main event final qualifier from yesterday. Moving on, Heat 7, Bias, Topinka, Clerte, Harmson, Shrul, Malishenkov, Dumi, and Lopez from Puerto Rico. Nice to see a new country back in the mix. I should say back in the mix, Puerto Rico. World Cup level. Looking for Eddie Clarté to get out front, but we'll see if he can outpower Harmsen. That's going to be hard to do, so it's going to be Harmsen and Clarté. Clarté working hard lately. Wondering earlier today what he did wrong yesterday when he went down in the 16th or the 8th. So he said he didn't want to make that happen again, but Harmsen definitely controlling this lap all the way around. That strong Dutchman leading the way, leading the charge to the finish line. So it's Harmsen, Clarté, followed by Topinka and Bias. Good ride by Topinka as well from the Czech Republic.
Yeah, Bias was in probably 6th or 7th coming down that hill, and he was 6th in the second turn and just carved himself underneath, worked himself into a position where he could make a sweep in that final turn for a top 4. So there's your results. Joris Harmsen, Eddie Clarté from France, Dominic Topinka from the Czech Republic, and Michael Bias out of New Zealand taking a top 4 position. This is the Heat 8 lining up on the gate. Cole Tizar, Carlos Oquendo, Justin Kimmen, Cameron Larson, Adam Hadlick, Maynard Peel, Axel Webster, and Nick Kimmen. So the two Kimmen brothers are in the same motor. Let's see who's going to get to that first turn first. Looks like the elder brother, Niek Kimmen of the Netherlands, working his way into that first position, all the way out from gate 8, looking nice and steady down that straight. That's Cameron Larson in there in 2. The Colombian Oquendo's in there in 3. Who's got the 4th spot? Tizar. So Tizar having a good lap. Justin Kimmen chasing him down that 3rd straight, trying to work his way onto the inside. Dives underneath. Oh, makes it happen. Tizar goes over the turn. So Kimmen, Larson, Oquendo, Justin Kimmen, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cole Tizar over the turn, just about picking his bike up. Maynard Peel in 5. Webster in there in 6. All kinds of action going on, and that last turn, Jason, it's going to be the scene of some serious action later on.
Scene of some serious action. Looked like Cole Tizar was kind of caught off guard because Kimmen didn't even hit him. Good ride by Larson. Great first straight, as always, by Nick Kimmen. With the official, Kimmen, Larson, Oquendo, and Justin Kimmen. So brothers Kimmen bookends for the qualifiers for this lap. Or for that lap, I should say, in Heat 8. As we move on, going to Heat number 9. I think the riders might be on hold just a bit. Dean, Pollard, Tugas, Nakai, Andrade, the Jackal, Matsushita, and Strasdens. Anthony Dean not having his best of days in round 1. Falling just shy of getting to the main event. I know he wants to change that. I believe he was part of that big tangle up in round 1 in the first corner in the semi. They're on hold just a bit.
Yeah, Anthony said he was feeling a little bit unwell this morning, but he seems to have recovered now, judging by the conversation I had with him earlier on. So
that was a quick recovery.
Yeah, he was certainly laying down the power in practice earlier on this morning.
I noticed.
For sure.
To go. Riders ready, watch the gate. Looks like Anthony Dean's trying to go straight to the front, but he's going to be battled by the Canadian. But it looks like Dean and Tugas. Thank you. Dean and Tugas. Tugas looking really good lately. Hopefully he gets a little bit more consistency going. Pollard and Nakai in 3rd and 4th respectively. Anthony Dean all up front. Tugas though well on him, looking to make a move. Got a little bit crooked there. We'll see. Almost a photo finish, not quite, but it's gonna be Dean, Tugas, Pollard, and Nakai. Nakai getting through for Japan.
I think Anthony Dean just looked nice and comfortable. That lap is the best way to describe
Well, you know,
it.
it's a Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday stroll around the track. The jitters are done.
Always good to get that first lap out
Yeah.
of the way. And there is your result. Anthony Dean taking the win. Alex Tugas of Canada in there in 2. Arthur Pielard in 3. Asuma Nakai of Japan going through in 4th. Next up, we've got heat number 10, Simon Marquardt from Switzerland, alongside his countryman Renaud Blanc. Gil Brunner also in there for Switzerland, so three of four Swiss riders in this one. Julian Schmidt, Christus Kriegers from Latvia, Mentling in there as well. And Ryan Martin of the UK and Igor Ballerin. Go. This is heat number 10. Ryan Martin on the inside doing it for Great Britain, trying to work his way into a top 3 position. He was telling me this morning he's going to have to be a lot more aggressive now. He's in the big boy class, but it is the Swiss rider out front. That'll probably be Marquardt, I think it is. Yep, Blanc in there in 2. Christian Kriegers from Latvia going through in 3. They are queuing up behind him, the 994, trying to work his way in as well. That'll be Julian Schmidt. He's going to make it through to the top 4. We'll soon see Blanc going through, Marquardt going through, Kriegers in 3, and it was Gil Brunner of Switzerland going through in 4.
Marquardt and Blanc looking quite strong down the first straight and around the track, taking control of that moto. Those are your official qualifiers from heat number 10. Marquardt, Blanc, Kriegers, and Brunner. Kind of a Swiss domination of that lap. Guess they're all chasing Mr. David Graff. The level is rising for sure. Moving on to heat number 11, Shippers, Schottman, Cullen, Nicholas Long, Schaub, Verhoeven, Molina, and Klassens. Nick Long, one of the eldest now of the group. Down the gate they go. The number 64 trying to go straight to the front. He's going to be edged out by the Dutch rider. So it's going to be the Dutch rider and Long in second place. Looked like Shippers going to the front. Excuse me, Shippers, Long, Schottman, and Schaub. Shippers looking quite strong on this lap. Followed by Long. They're going to put some space between them and third place. It's going to be all Jan Shippers. A little bit of a bobble. That's always scary down the last straight. Long catches up a bit, but not enough. Followed by Schottman and Verhoeven. Jay Shippers.
Yeah, it looked like he struggled ever so slightly down that final straight, but it didn't hold him up because he did take the win. Nick Long of the USA in 2, Mitchell Schottman from the Netherlands in 3, and Matthias Verhoeven of Belgium in 4. Right, Jason, I'm expecting the crowd volume to go up a little bit in heat 12.
Why do you say that?
We've got a certain gentleman by the name of Kai White.
Never heard of him. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yamaguchi from Japan, James Palmer out of Canada, Kai White from Great Britain, Yoshimura from Japan, Brett Hauer from Germany, Bernhardt from Germany, and Grazian from Italy. See what's on. The crowd are getting excited already, and that can only mean one thing, that Kai White of Great Britain is out there in front at the moment. That looks like Grazian, who's worked his way into 2 for Italy. James Palmer of Canada working his way into 3. Yamaguchi of Japan in there in 4. But this one is all about Kai White. He is miles in front in this one. He's got this one firmly in the bag. He's going to take it to the line. The home crowd go wild. Who's going to get 2, 3, and 4? Grazian, Palmer, Yamaguchi, and Yoshimura in 5th, and that was a fast lap for Kai White, 27.307.
I think that might have been the fastest lap this weekend. Unfortunately, the fastest lap doesn't win the main event.
That's very true.
But he's definitely fast enough to win it, that's for sure.
I'd agree with that one as well.
Yeah, the crowd gets louder, and I honestly, I hate to say it's not because the crowd doesn't love Kai White, because they do, but his mom's in the crowd today. So she takes it up another few decibel points just by herself. You've heard her cheer, yes?
I've heard Tracy get excited.
Okay. So you're official. Kai White, Matteo Grazian, Daichi Yamaguchi, and James Palmer will be moving on from Heat 12 as we move on to Heat number 11 as we go to the top of the hill. Twan Van Gent Carlos Ramirez, the Magician, Booty, Kim, Darnan, Derome, Shunk, and Van de Put. Twan Van Gent in lane 1, having trouble finding his form since he's been back from injury the last few races. Twan Van Gent, one of the strongest out there. He's going to go straight to the front. Looks like the Magician's just in second. Got a little bit of traffic around him. Magician's going to get those people off of him. So it's going to be, wow, Twan Van Gent E-T'ing, pedaling in the air. Twan Van Gent followed by Ramirez, Darnan, and Booty. Darnan, the Frenchman, kind of a tall guy. Looks like he's going to try to make a dive. Booty's going to try to make a dive, but Twan Van Gent is not worried about any of it, and he goes across the line in first. Ramirez, not sure what happened to him, but Darnan makes a move on Ramirez, and Booty is actually going to go fourth or possibly photo finish for third.
Yeah, well, if Twan Van Gent was looking for his form, he certainly found it for that motor because he was out front and taking that win aboard the 148 bike. There is your official result. Twan Van Gent taking the win. Simba Darnan de France in there in 2. Ramirez in 3 and 7 Booty in there in 4. E14. Next up on the gate, Kaisa Kakibara out of Australia in this one. Nagasako from Japan. Mathis Rago Richard didn't have the best day yesterday. He's from France. Hayden Fletcher from Australia. Gabby Malenfant. Maurice Panomarev and Swan, I think it is, from France. So heat number 14 is underway. Looks like Kaisa Kakibara making that inside line count. Nagasako right there behind him at the moment, just tucking in. Mathis Rago-Richard having a better lap this time around. That's Hayden Fletcher in there in 4, but he's got the Russian on the inside of him trying to work his way in. Hayden Fletcher still holding on to that 4th spot at the minute, but Kaisa Kakibara out there in front. He looks like he's going to get this one. Kakibara for the win. Nagasako in there in 2. Mathis Rago-Richard in 3. Looks like there's been some carnage on the final straight. Riders going down. The Russian was one of them. Hayden Fletcher managed to hold on to that spot, but riders hitting the floor. The Russian was definitely one of them. Didn't quite catch who the other rider was. Might have been Malenfant actually, we'll soon see. But all action all the way, and you can't relax on this track for even a split second.
Too much action. Sakakibara staying out of all the trouble with the win in that one, followed by Nagasako Richard, Rago-Richard, and Fletcher. They are your official in heat number 14. You're right. If you let up, you will get swarmed by the group. Heat 15, Campo, Klashenko, Evans, Sciortino, Kunzel, Trey White. As the crowd goes loud, Santos, Medeiros, and Verbinen. So we have 2 Team GB riders. This is their home training facility. And the young and tall Alfredo Campo in lane 1. He's been looking quite strong lately. Looks like Kyle Evans going straight to the front. Trey White just on the outside. Klashenko's going to dive on him. I don't know if White's going to handle that too well, but Campo taking the lead. So it's going to be Campo followed closely by the Team GB rider of Evans. So it's going to be Campo, Evans, Klashenko with Trey White in 4th place. So it looks like Team GB may get through this lap, but we'll see. It's not over until it's over as Campo crosses the line, followed by Evans, Klashenko, and White.
That's a great lap for the GB boys, getting 2 riders through into the next round. Just await the results. There you go. Alfredo Campo taking the win. Kyle Evans into Klashenko in 3 and Trey White in 4. Next up, the last of the heats in the first round for elite men. There is your start list. Tori Navrostak, Kate Stindl, Dave Vandenberg, Tian Isidore, Krasavakis of Australia, Villegas of Argentina, Yoshi from Japan, and Soto Array from Chile. And as a side note, if you're looking for Quill and Isidore and wondering why he's not been on the start hill, he's had to pull out, unfortunately, due to an injury suffered yesterday. question is, has Big Dave got it in the bag as they head towards turn number 1? Doesn't look like it. Looks like Naverstad's got this one at the moment. Naverstad, the Norwegian national champion, he's leading it through. Big Dave Vandenberg from the Netherlands going through in 2. Stindl's in there in 3, and Tian Isidore, the little brother of Quillan Isidore, he's in there in the top 4. The Peckham Massive in the crowd will be going absolutely berserk, but Naverstad's got this one. Here comes Dave Vandenberg with a late charge. Naverstad holds on to it. Vandenberg in there in 2. Case Stindl in 3, and Tian Isidore making it through in that 4th position.
Nice ride by Isidore, finding his way to 4th place after not the best start. Naverstad putting down the power to Dave Vandenberg. There's your official Naverstad, Vandenberg, Stindl, and Isidore. Incidentally, I'd like to thank the Netherlands, Team Netherlands, the Dutch Army for their fine coffee machine. They loaded me up earlier today.
Hey, free coffee's always good, Jason.
Free good coffee's even better. Next time we see the men, it will be the last chance qualifier. Only 2 people make it out of that one, so that will be some intense racing. And then from there, we move into single elimination here at the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup in Manchester, Great Britain. So for those viewers, Rich, watching, because they're viewers, so they're watching, obviously. You hear England, you hear Great Britain, you hear UK. How does that work?
Well, we as a country have 2 names, don't we? We're either Great Britain or the United Kingdom. I think for sporting purposes, we are Great Britain, but it's kind of interchangeable with UK.
Okay.
So
I'm going to ask this question when we go to the Netherlands, because you hear Holland sometimes.
Yeah.
And then they say Dutch riders. We say Dutch riders, so I'm wondering. But it's good to know. Great Britain and UK are interchangeable.
Yeah. I like Great Britain because it's got the word great in it.
Ah. Some people would say no, but I guess you being from the north, you would say they're interchangeable. Look at that. Round 1's winner, Joris Daudet. This is his first lap. Daudet and Mayhew really putting on a clinic out there, making it look easy as they go around the track. The Latvian sliding out all by himself. That's not any fun. But that means he's going to go to a last chance qualifier, and I'm sure those people in the last chance qualifier would rather him have qualified. But again, Daudet and Mayhew qualifying easily out of that first round today.
The French domination continued in the next motor with Jeremy Rencarel just battering his way into that first turn first. But look at De Souza Filo of Brazil. He's an absolute flyer, just dropping that nose in as he went across those jumps there into that second turn. And Renato Rezende was in there in that 4th spot. The Russian just coming through behind him, chasing him down all the way to the line. But it was all about last night's podium maker, Jeremy Rencarel.
World champion making it look easy as he goes straight to the front. Sylvain Andre getting that 3rd place in round 1 with the last minute lunge, last 1/10 of a second lunge at the line, getting that 3rd place off of Graf. He's starting his day out with a bullet today with a strong 1st place finish in heat.
Yeah, and apparently the difference between 3rd and 4th place last night in terms of distance was 10 centimetres. That was the difference between 3rd and 4th, according to David Graf on his social media this morning.
10 centimetres. Unfortunately, it's hard for me to understand how big or small that is because I'm from the United States where we would say
4 and a bit inches.
Inches, quarter, half. Okay.
2.54 centimetres to an inch. So 4.5 inches roughly.
There we go.
There we go. I did learn something in maths at school.
That's good. So another question.
Go on.
Speaking of numbers and math and conversion, why do you use miles when you track distance, but then use the metric for the other stuff?
That's a very good question. I think the English have always been that little bit, British, should I say? You know, bearing in mind the conversation we had earlier on. Yeah, us British, we do like to be a little bit contrary, Jason. I think is the best word to describe it.
Or as we would say, contrary.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I know where you're coming from with that.
Well, it just depends where you put emphasis, you put on which syllable.
Yeah. Yeah, we just like to be awkward. That's the best way to describe it. Let's get northern about it. We just like to be awkward, us Brits. So, yeah, miles, centimetres, pounds and ounces. Whereas the rest of you refer to things in centimetres, metres and kilometres.
So just an interesting side fact while we have this small break. My son, Grayson Richardson, when you look up at the gate at the Riders, if you look off to the right, sometimes behind the scaffolding, you will see him there as he is helping the cameraman with the wiring and stuff like that. He came on this trip to put in a bit of groundwork.
Yeah, we've got him grafting, Jason.
We got him grafting.
We have got him grafting.
He's grafting proper.
Yeah, I asked him if he was grafting yesterday, and he went, grafting? And I'm like, yeah, working hard. I was like, oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got to school him early in this country, Jason. Got to keep him busy. We had him running after us yesterday, grabbing drinks and that kind of stuff. So
he upgraded to actually being next to some official equipment.
Yeah.
That we use.
Now, if I could have got away with putting my son to work yesterday, I don't know what he would have done. He's only 7.
He put you to work.
Yeah, he put me to work. Yeah, he's kept me busy all weekend. So, but that's what sons do, keep us busy. Our crowd getting stuck into the social media thing.
They're probably texting you.
Yeah, they're probably texting me while they've got the opportunity. And if you want to get in touch with myself and Jason, best way to do it is via direct message on Instagram. It's at RealDrJRich, at RealDrJRich on Instagram. Or if you want to get in contact with my good self, it's at BMX Commentator. At BMX Commentator. So drop us a line. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you're seeing. Let us know what your opinions are. If you've got any questions, fire them over, because we love to hear from the fans who are watching the broadcast. We're always happy to chat. And even if you just want to hit us up, say hello, and offer to buy us a coffee at the next race. We're quite happy with that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So in terms of day 2, Jason, obviously we're on day 2 of the World Cup events. You know, there's going to be a bit of fatigue in the riders' legs. Obviously, coming from your background as a professional athlete, did you do anything specific to handle that fatigue? Did you do anything that would kind of, you know, help you recover for the day after? Were you a purveyor of the ice bath and that kind of thing? Or was it just a good night's sleep?
The ice bath, no.
Do you think that works?
Yes. I'm just too soft. Can't do it. Can't do it. Well, I wouldn't do it. But back then, I retired 11 years ago.
Really?
I don't think the ice bath was as much or as prominent a recovery tool as it might be now. But definitely the light spin.
Yeah.
The light spin. And I would actually put some Tiger Balm on my legs after the day.
Ah,
so it's kind of like an icy hot, yeah.
Yeah, you went for heat rather than cold.
Well, it's kind of both, right?
Yeah.
Then obviously sleep, nice sleep, and a strong, healthy meal. So loads of calories.
Yeah, all about the protein and the carbs then.
All about eating as much as I can until I'm full after the day after a race.
So our crowd, noticing that they're up there on the big screen, giving us a nice wave. I've already seen some familiar faces sat in that crowd. Oh, somebody's got the biscuit box open. Just wonder if they can send some in our direction.
Yes, if anyone is listening and knows anyone in the crowd, let them know that they can send us biscuits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Biscuits, chocolate cake.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, I'll be polite if I accept it, but I prefer more proper food
I've actually put requests in for certain cakes to be brought to nationals, and certain parents within BMX have actually furnished my requirements and sent specific cake for me.
Aren't you special?
Talk about lucky. See my longtime friend Danny Latham sat there in the crowd with his DC hat on.
Yeah. Shout out to Christian Besserine. He has some athletes, some riders here that he works with, and he wanted me to remember that sometimes we would go to the old ice cream shop for a Dairy Queen Blizzard.
See, that just doesn't even translate in
Or a Sunday for recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the whole Imperial metric thing's also gone up another notch, because I've just had an Instagram message through from Carleen, my longtime friend and stalwart of the USA BMX scene.
Yep.
What's up with stones as a weight measure? I have got no idea.
A stone is like 14 pounds.
14 pounds.
And why would they make, really, couldn't they just say a stone was 15 to make the math easier?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
That's ridiculous.
Even I don't understand that one, and I'm from the UK, so there you go. Makes no sense to anybody.
The world uses horsepower?
That's very true. And I don't know what the conversion is on that either.
I don't know. Yeah, which horse?
Yeah.
Is it like one of those beer sleigh pulling horses, or is it Secretariat?
Your guess is as good as mine. Right, looks like we're nearly getting ready for the elite women. I can hear our in-house MC, Neil Stewart, winding the crowd up as we just look back at some of those other earlier rounds, as our French contingent getting plenty of airtime today. We've seen lots of
that tends to happen when you're in front.
Absolutely. It's nice to see Amadou Mir back in BMX. If there was ever a character that we needed in the sport, I would say it was Amadou Mir.
He's definitely a character. It's a wild dude right there. All I'm going to say is World Championships Columbia after party. Yeah, those that know.
Yeah, I believe he's got some moves when it comes to the dance floor.
And those that know. This is that amazing race by Patty Sherrick, going from
look how sharp he carved that corner. Yeah.
So while other people are sliding out, he's going low, low, and then just moving over ever so slightly down the second straight, and amazingly holding the speed. So the elite women are up and getting locked and loaded. Round one. The top four from each heat will move on to the quarterfinals. Everyone else will be relegated to the last chance.
Alrighty, let's have a look. The elite women, heat number one, lining up on the gate. Simone Christiansen, last night's winner. Elise Willoughby took a tumble in that semi-final. Julia Alves, Manon Veenstra, Rebecca Petch, Nadia Pries, and Emma Juteau out of France. So the elite women are underway. Heat number one, heading down that start hill, and Elise Willoughby heading into that first turn. Alves in there in three. Simone Christiansen just tucking in behind her. Let's have a look who's inside that top four. Looks like Rebecca Petch is in the top four as well, but it's Elise Willoughby of the USA leading this one out. Simone Christiansen in there in two. Alves de Santos in three. Petch is in there in four, but it's all about Willoughby in and out the final turn. She's looking smooth and in control in this one. Veenstra back there in five. I don't think she's going to have enough time to make the top four. Elise Willoughby taking the win. Christiansen in two. Nadia Pries, a great lap for her in three. Alves de Santos in four, and Rebecca Petch, unlucky, moved back a position and ended up in five.
Your official: Willoughby, Christiansen, Pries, and Dos Santos. Unlikely for Petch to be going to the last chance qualifier. Nonetheless, the sport of BMX can be a bit cruel when it comes to qualifying through. Heat two, Bao Stavo, Smolders, Klassens, Tucksher, Eberhard, Yabuta, and Imogen Hill. Looks like everyone's off to a clean start with the exception of Stavo. She didn't get the best gate, so she's going to be relegated to 4th place as she dives under the corner, hoping to hold on to that qualifying position. But Bao, quite confident after round 1's top 3 finish, she's going to beat Smolders to the first corner and through the 3rd straight. So it's Bao and Smolders. Smolders finding herself in an unlikely position in an early qualifying heat in 2nd, but looks like she's taking it a more relaxed approach today, as it's going to be Bao, Smolders, Klassens, and Stavo holding on for 4th. Yeah. Incidentally, Bas de Bever,
yeah,
the former Dutch team's national coach, just sent through an explanation of, the Netherlands/Holland explained. So I will read that, not now, but I will read it and then come back to it. Official Bao, Smolders, Klassens, and Stavo, or maybe we'll save that for rounds 3 and 4. Thank you, Bas. We riding this summer at all again?
And up on top of the 8-meter hill, we've got heat 3 for the Merle van Bentham made the podium last night with the 3rd position. Camille Mer, France, Danny George, the USA, Drew McKeelson, Canada, Tano from Japan, Niederhausen from Switzerland, and Buldinska from Latvia. Those are the ladies for heat number 3. Now, number 99, Danny, the Danimal George. Has she got what it takes to get down that first straight and work her way into the first position? She's back there in about 3 or 4 of them. All got tangled up with another rider, just about holding it over the step up, but it's Merle van Bentham of the Netherlands leading it out. Looks like the Japanese rider, Tano, in there in 2, Camille Mer in there in 3, and Christoph von Niederhausen of Switzerland. She's going through in 4. Looks like Danny George has managed to work her way back in, but it's Merle van Bentham leading this one out. The Japanese rider, she looks quite comfortable in 2. France going through in 3. Who's going to get the 4th spot? Christoph von Niederhausen just stole it from Danny George at the line.
Don't know what happened to George. She got a little crooked going down that last straight, and she jumped up that step, that first part coming out of the last corner, and that's all it took for Niederhausen to be the official qualifier, just behind Mer, Tano, and Bentham.
Yeah, for the ladies, it does get very tight because as they come out of that first turn, Jason, they've got to funnel back into the left to be able to hit the step up out of the first turn, and sometimes they can get pinched so hard that people end up on the other straight.
So heat number 4, we'll see Pajón, Walker, Asuero, Martinez, Huisman, Simpson, Granger, and Bartonkova. Mariana Pajón sitting in lane 1 next to Sarah Walker. Olympic gold and silver, respectively, from the London 2012 Games, I believe. That's without notes, by the way. Down the hill they go. Sarah Walker off to a great start as Pajón gets pinched, but it's going to be, I believe, the Dutch rider of Huisman. Oh my gosh, Huisman. She changed uniforms on me from last season. She is in the Dutch Army. Excuse me, my apologies. So Huisman, Walker, and Asuero in 3rd, battling for 2nd. Oh no, she got greedy. She might have put herself out of qualifying position. It's going to be Huisman, Walker, Pajón, and Martinez. What a bummer for Asuero, as she was working on a hot lap and somehow got a little crooked. Checking on the down rider.
That's Bartonkova, who's gone down on that last straight. And as always, our fully professional medical team looking after all the down riders this weekend, making sure they get the best possible care. So go on, give us your explanation on what Baz was telling us while we've got a minute.
It's an article he sent, so that requires some clicking through of things. The official, Huisman, Walker, Pajón, and Martinez. As I pull it up.
There's heat number 5 winding up on top of the hill. Felicia Stanton from the USA, Natalia Afrimova, Marie Santos from Brazil, Bethany Shriver from Great Britain, Latvia's Venita Peterzone, Ellie Featherstone from Great Britain, the highest ranked junior rider in that particular category. Mackenzie Gayhart's in there, and Monique van der Valk from the Netherlands. Felicia looking nice and relaxed. I do like the colour of that Supercross bike she's riding. That purple.
That's her colour.
Properly stands
She
out. That
loves
looks
the purple.
amazing. Bethany Shriver, Great Britain's representative, sat there in the middle looking nice and relaxed.
Wow, everyone has the same bike from lane 1 through 4. I'm sure that makes Bill Ryan happy. Well, we are racing BMX Supercross, so it would make sense that we see some riders riding a Supercross. Felicia Stansel in lane 1, Team USA, riding quite well recently, looking strong both at home and abroad. Had a crash yesterday.
Yeah, I believe she was a little bit battered after that one.
A little bit battered, but looking very strong. We're still on hold a bit as they are checking on Bartkova. Precautionary, we hope.
Well, 2 questions come through, one from Matt McHugh and one from Odlin Nipman 85, who wants us to predict our top 3. Both sent the same question. Predictions for top 3 for men and women today. Well, I've tried predicting results before and I've failed miserably. So that didn't work out too well for me in Argentina last year, but my compatriot here, Jason Richardson, did actually pick the winner of the Elite Women race in that particular instance. That was when Seiya Sakakibara won.
Yeah. Jessica van der Biesen, wife of Raymond van der Biesen, says that the Dutch coffee that was given to me is the best coffee there is.
I'm going to have to try this coffee.
I agree, because I did have it, and I felt like I could actually get up there and race. Elite. So that's some good coffee. Oh, wait. Martin Parker 70 says UK and Great Britain, there is a difference. Great Britain is England, Scotland, and Wales. UK is England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Love the racing. Well, thank you. Thank you, Martin Parker, because apparently my co-host doesn't know his Great Britain / UK.
I failed geography at school,
Stuff.
that's all I'm saying. Right, I think we're ready to go with heat number 5. The ladies on top of the hill just getting themselves set, ready. Felicia looking very, very relaxed.
Oh, shout out to Eric Grindle. He's watching. Eric Grindle is the voice of USA BMX at those races. So when you hear a USA BMX race, it's him on the mic calling the shots. So thanks, Eric. Heat 5.
This is it, heat number 5 of the Elite Women, heading down that start hill. Bethany Shriver in the middle, got an absolutely great start. She's well into it. Oh, Felicia Stansel's taken yet another tumble. She's having such bad luck this weekend. Looks like the Russian rider in there in 2. That'll be Natalia Rafimova. De Santos in there in 3. And Ellie Featherstone of Great Britain's worked her way into the top 4, but it's Great Britain out front as well. Bethany Shriver holding on down this final straight. Here comes Natalia Rafimova, putting the pressure on. Is she going to get her? No, she's not. Bethany Shriver hangs on. Afrimova in 2. De Santos in 3. Ellie Featherstone in 4. And Mackenzie Skittles Gayhart going through in 5. But oh, such bad luck for Felicia Stansel, Jason.
Didn't quite see how that happened. Bethany Shriver, though, riding like she has something to prove. Definitely one of the favorites to make the main in round 1. That did not happen, so I'm sure her focus is just a little bit tighter today. But as we see Felicia Stansel riding around the track, it's always good to see people getting off on their own with minimal help, and we hope that she's okay. Here's the replay. So looks like Felicia Stansel just ran out of room. The Russian rider just moving over on her a bit. Stansel coming down with her front wheel crooked and then going end over end. So the official is Shriver, Afrimova, Reese Santos, and Featherstone getting through.
back to the top of the gate for heat number 6. Valentino, Reynolds, Carrillo, Smith, Escobar, Akayawa, Eloise Gonzalez, and Ella Verstappen.
Manon Valentino sitting in lane 1 next to Lauren Reynolds in 2.
Digging the socks.
Oh yeah, the socks are nice. Details, details. That's how it is at this high level. Lauren Reynolds with really good first straights this weekend, but not good enough to get around Valentino. And Valentino giving her a little love tap actually in the first corner. She's going to edge out Reynolds. Reynolds jumping back into second place as Bollé goes into third, but it is all Valentino. Smith in fourth, looking to hold on to that. But Reynolds got her eyes on the prize. Does she make a move on Valentino? We will see. Doubt it's going to happen, though. Valentino with a nice, clean lap. She's going to bring it in for first place, followed by Reynolds, Smith, and Bollé falling back to fourth. So that's round 1. The official, Valentino, Reynolds, Smith, Bollé. That's round 1 of Women's Elite. We are going to kick it over to Mark Willers in a few minutes, maybe even 2 minutes. So we're going to kick it over to Mark Willers because I want to know who he's talking to in the rider's corner because I want all the scoop. Next time we see the women will be the last chance qualifier where they're only taking 2. Until then, we'll talk soon.
Kai White, we are here in the Riders' Corner. It is a pleasure to meet you. Excuse my ignorance if I'd met you a few years ago, but I didn't care who you were back then. But now, I wanted to get to know you. From Peckham, had a little, not an easy upbringing. It's not a rough life, but I hear Peckham's not so great. You had 2 older brothers, Dan and Trey. So your parents just saved all the good genes up for you, or what?
I can't say that because Trey and Daniel basically taught me how to ride, so I guess I get one side, the aggressive side from Daniel and the skill side from Trey, so yeah, it's been a good BMX series.
So yesterday, I'm not sure how the first round went today, but you were holding fastest lap time still, coming into this weekend and through yesterday. That's got to give some confidence after the world's best are here and leading into today. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good. Yesterday I think it was a 27.5. Just done my first lap and I done a 27.3, so even way faster than the original time I set before the weekend. And yeah, it was basically a world PB and for this track.
Nice. So I've noticed you're taking the third and last straight a little bit different than others. Is that just a play around line when you're comfortable, or have you put some work in to figure out what's quicker?
I believe I do everything different on every track. Like, when we was in Zolder the other week, I was doing pickup. I wasn't the first one to do it. It was a junior rider that done it first, and I saw him do it. And he wasn't doing it in racing, so no one really saw. But I started doing it in racing, and everybody else thought, oh, it might be faster. So they started doing it as well. I come here, I always do pickup and then dub manual on the last 3, whereas everybody else does manual and it makes them do jump to the last 2 or jump manual. So yeah, I just believe my way's faster, to be honest.
Yeah, nice. And so I know we haven't finished today yet, but I want to get into Papendal as well. You looking forward to that race?
Not really, no. The first time I went there, I crashed second lap, didn't race the next day, and I haven't been back since. So I missed 2018 Papendal. So going back this year, I'll see how it goes, really.
Either way, it can't be better than can't be worse than your brother. Like, I got asked, you must have laughed your ass off when your brother blew up his one.
To be fair, I wasn't there, and I don't know. I don't think I heard about it until maybe a week later or a couple of days later. So when he actually told me, it's kind of serious. So yeah, I really laughed. But yeah, it's not great.
For those that don't know, it was a few years back, 14 or 15. Brother Trey, unfortunately, had some damage to his derriere, but he's back to full action. Right, it's a pleasure having you here, and we will throw it back up to the tower.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, Mark.
Mark, true historian of our sport.
Yeah,
That's good.
gets all the scoop.
Hey, look. Everyone breaks their coccyx now and then.
I can't even begin to think about the pain he must have been in.
That's it. Look at the power from Elise Willoughby, just dropping the woman who won round 1 in the first straight.
She's certainly been putting the work in as Elise, but with you know, her husband Sam Willoughby, Olympic silver medalist, an icon of the sport.
Almost
as a
an
coach.
unfair advantage to have him as your coach.
Yeah, definitely. And as we see the two Dutch ladies go in and out of that first turn, Judy Bow and Laura Smulders. I believe Laura's, you know, carrying slightly less of a top layer of skin than she did yesterday after that little tumble last night. And Meryl Smulders hasn't made it to the gate at all today, unfortunately. So Meryl, a little bit banged up as well. So we're just sending our best wishes out to her. We hope she's recovered soon, and we look forward to seeing her back in Papendal. Got a few more messages coming through on Instagram, Jason. Jen Ree, I think that is, at Jen Ree. Hello from South Africa. You guys always do such a great job. We enjoy the action and the commentary here at home.
Thank you.
Glad to have South African fans watching. Anything on your end, Jason, from our fans?
I lost my internet connection somehow, so I'm working to get feverishly to get back on. There goes Bethany Shriever mopping up the group. Whoa, Manon Valentino and Lauren Reynolds. Didn't see that in the, with exception for this replay. They bumped a little bit down the first straight in the air. That was pretty wild. Good on them for staying up.
We've got Walford 381, I think it is. He's busy watching at home on the live feed in Warrington, England, which is not too far away from here in Manchester. He was in the crowd yesterday, and he's sat at home with his feet up today. I hope he's got a decent cup of tea and a McVitie's hobnob to dip in it. That's all I'm saying. So our crowd being kept entertained by our in-house sports presentation team, expertly led by Mr. Neil Stewart, the English speaker, keeping our crowd happy, giving away prizes, keeping the fun going. And the last chance is upon us, and then we will be moving into the 16th finals. So last chance for the elite men. I can see riders atop the gates. So we'll be moving up there very, very shortly just to see which of these riders will be going through. Don't forget, with the last chance qualifier, it is only the top 2 riders that go through, the top 2 riders. And we've got Bart van Bemmelen, Alexander Katishev, Philip Schaub, Ruben Gomez, Giacomo Fantoni, Federico De Vecchi, he was involved in that little incident in the final straight yesterday. And Alejandro Quimpena in there from Spain. So last chance qualifier, truly the last chance for this weekend, Jason.
Definitely. Spain, a relatively quiet BMX country, no?
Yeah, but they've got some good riders.
Yeah, they do.
All right, here we go. Heat 1 of the last chance qualifiers for the elite med. Heading down the straight, we've got Alexander Katishev in there in 2, but it's Fantoni who leads it into the turn. Van Bemmelen has just worked his way into 3 at the moment, but it's the Italian leading it out. That looks like the Belgian rider in there in 4. That'll be Ruben Gomez. Gomez coming under pressure, though, from the riders in 5 and 6. Fantoni still leading it out. Katishev looking right comfortable in there as well. The Dutch rider's worked his way into 3. Oh, somebody's gone down in the final turn. Looks like Gomez is going to hang on for 4. Gomez holds on for 4, but it's only about the top 2. It's Katishev and Fantoni who go through the last chance qualifier and make it into the 16ths.
Wow. You know that's a heartbreaker when a national champion does not make it out of the last chance.
We had 2 national champions in that one. Ruben Gomez of Belgium and Giacomo Fantoni out of Italy. One made it through, and one is done for the weekend. And there is your official results. Alexander Katishev and Giacomo Fantoni going through Heat 1 of the last chance qualifiers for elite men. Up atop the hill now, heat number 2.
Yeah, heat number 2. Start list: Jerome, Sciortino, Shunk, Molina, Strasdins, Furlan, and Barbosa. Shout out to Leon Damon _60_. Good luck to all the West Aussies. As we're on the gate and ready to go. Down the hill they go. Looks like all white from lane 1. Sciortino looking kind of clean, going in and out of the first corner in first. He's gonna, whoa, someone goes off the track. Not sure what happened there, but we know it gets tight. So it looks like a Chile rider in 2. That's gonna be Vergara, Molina Vergara in second. Sciortino and Molina 1 and 2. Looks like Molina's gotta get on it. He's got a little bit of heat coming after him. We'll see if he can hold on. And he does. It's going to be Jerome and Molina, 1 and 2.
So the action continues in the last chance qualifiers for the elite men.
Quick question from Theodore _Peterkin _020. Official, Jerome and Molina, they will make it out of heat number 2. But the quick question on Instagram is, how fast do the elite men come off the track? I don't even know how to answer that. Start list for Binnen, Yoshi, Vandeput, Schrull, Masuda, and Kunzel in heat 3 of the elite men. Last chance.
So Elias Verbinnen on the inside, involved in a little bit of last turn action in the last chance qualifier yesterday. He's in there again today. I'm sure he's hoping for a better result. He's got the whole shot at the moment. Verbinnen leading it out. He's in there in 1, and Nick van der Poel, Belgium, in there in 2. So this looks like a good last chance qualifier for the Belgian riders. Masuda going through in 3. Yoshi's in there in 4. But it's all about Elias Verbinnen in and out of that final turn. Nick van der Poel now coming under pressure from the Japanese rider down the final straight. Verbinnen's going to get it. Yeah, and Van der Poel holds on for 2. Masuda in 3. Schul in 4, but Belgium going 1 and 2.
Belgian sweep in heat number 3 for the last chance.
And making the 1/16.
Speaking of which, I heard the World Championships might be in Belgium this year. Definitely in Belgium, yeah?
Hey, we always love a trip to Zolder. And there is your result. Elias Verbinnen and Nick van der Poel going through heat 3 of the last chance qualifiers. You'll see them in the 16th. A little bit later on.
Heading back up the hill, heat number 4, Jackal, Kresveskis, Matsushita, Calixto, Rock and Roll Cole Tizar, Ballerina, and Panamarev. Tatsumi Matsushita, national champion of Japan. He'll be looking to come down fast, but Rock and Roll Cole Tizar having a funky first round, so he's going to take it to the front. Well, take it to second place right away, so he's on a bubble spot, got the Russian behind him. That's not too good for him, so Rock and Roll Cole Tizar has his work set out for him. The Australian, Krasevski's in front, doing a really good job. Rock and Roll Cole looking for more ground, as he might be getting set up by the Russian for the last and final qualifying position. Let's see if he can hold on. The American seems to have done it, so it's going to be a U.S. followed by USA, Krasevski's and Tizar respectively getting across in the last chance. That is a nail-biter for Coach Tizar sitting in North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be happy that his rider's gone through. Cole spent quite a bit of time in this building with the White brothers over the last few weeks, and he made it pay in that last chance qualifier. And there is your result. Krasevskis of Australia going through with the win. Cole Tizar, Rock and Roll Cole Tizar of the USA, in there in 2. Next up, heat number 5 of the last chance qualifiers, including Great Britain's Ross Cullen in there on that 137 play in gate number 3. Parents Sally and Paul are in the house today, watching their boy ride his first Senior World Cup. And I'm sure they're very proud. As we got a nice close-up of the front wheel of the 994 of Julian Schmidt. He shows us how fast that wheel is by working his way into that first turn first. So he's holding on to it. Ross Cullen just getting bumped and banged as they come out of that turn. He's making it happen. He's in there in two at the moment. You can hear the crowd getting louder here in the National Cycling Centre in Manchester, cheering their boy on. But here comes the 157, I think it is, of Valentin Dume, chasing down Ross Cullen down that final straight. Cullen looking like he's going to try and pick up the win. Is he going to get it? No! But Cullen goes through in two. Wow. Great result for Ross Cullen.
That's like the most hype I've heard for a last chance qualifier ever.
That is.
I appreciate that too.
Yeah.
I really do.
I like it when the crowd get hyped on these kind of races.
Official Julian Schmidt and Cullen, they will move on in the program. They have a chance at glory tonight. Yeah, every race is important. Do you know why?
Enlighten me, Jason.
Because every race gets you ready for the next. Speaking of which, Heat 6, Garoyan, Rosa, Malyshenkov, Klassens, Bujaki, Louis Hinstan from France, and Ponton. Leo Garoyan, junior world champion, has moved up to the elite men's category. Looking to put this lap behind him in a positive light. Looks like we have someone rolling out of the gate. Not sure what happened there. Looks like Rosa going to the front. Garoyan finds himself in a bit of trouble as the Russian Malyshenkov finds himself in second place. Garoyan has some work cut out for him with his countryman in fourth behind him, but Rosa and Malyshenkov making their day's work right here, as it's going to be Rosa and Malyshenkov disappointing the young junior world champion of Garoyan.
Yeah, that just gives you an idea of how tough it is to actually kind of make the step up from junior to elite, Jason. You know, Leo Garoyan could barely be touched last year at the Worlds, and now he's out in the last chance this time around. So Shane Rosa and Pavel Malyshenkov going through heat number 6 of the last chance qualifiers here at the National Cycling Centre in Manchester, round 2 of the UCI Supercross World Cup. Heat number 7, lining up on the gate, Michael Boyle, Jeremy Smith, Maynard Peel, out of New Zealand, trained by Kurt Pickard, Jonas Balbach, Louis Brettauer, and Mario Lopez of Puerto Rico. This is another one of those races with 2 national champions in, Jason. Maynard Peel and Jonas Balbach. So the 2 national champions taking it down the hill. Maynard Peel in the middle of the pack there, trying to work his way to the inside. Is he going to be able to pick up the whole shot? Oh, just about held off there by the rider in front. So Maynard Peel in there in 3. Here comes the German rider working his way into 2. It's Jeremy Smith of the USA leading it out. So Smith looking good aboard that 259 plate, in and out of the final turn. Being tracked down by the German. Smith going through. He's going to get it. He's going to take it to the line. Balbach, I think it is. Oh, Brettauer in 2, sorry. Balbach in 3. Maynard Peel in 4. Boyle in 5. Lopez in 6. But Jeremy Smith bringing the
good ride
power.
by Smith, putting in a lot of work. Official Smith and Brettauer. Brettauer, let's not forget, he is an Olympian. So Maynard Peel had a great start, but just a bit outmatched by Louis Brettauer and company. Heat number 8, McConey, Mentlink, Andrade, Santos, Medeiros, Webster, and Bernhardt. This could be anyone's race. We'll see if Makoni can make use of lane 1. Not sure, though, because the Brazilian rider getting over on him pretty quickly. I think that's Santos. Not sure, because there's 2 Brazilian riders in there, but I believe it is Santos followed by, who's in second place. We'll get a read on him pretty soon. Santos is in second, Andrade in front, so it's a Brazilian 1-2. So it's going to be Andrade and Santos. Santos almost getting in trouble, but he outsmarts them as they both are going to go in 1 and 2, Brazil 1 and 2, as it's going to be Andrade and Santos with the qualification.
There is your official result. Andrade of Brazil and Santos of Brazil both taking 1 and 2 in heat number 8 of the last chance qualifiers for the elite men. Great results for the South American team number 9 coming up. This is the last of the last chance qualifiers for the elite men. Ryan Martin of Great Britain, Yoshimura of Japan, Gabi Malafant of Canada, Hashimoto of Japan, Soto Araya of Chile, and Federico Villegas of Argentina. Federico took a bit of a tumble this morning in practice. I saw him shaking out his shoulder a little bit.
That's not good.
Well, let's hope he's okay. So Ryan Martin of Great Britain got a choice inside line in this one. Can he make it pay into that first turn? Villegas moving over on it though. Federico Villegas out of Argentina. He leads it through. Ryan Martin in there in 2, doing it for Great Britain. The crowd starting to come alive again. The rider in there in 3, the 7-1-5. Oh no, it's Yoshimura in 3 and Hashimoto in there in 4. Gabi Malafant trying to make his presence felt though. But it's out front. Federico Villegas, Ryan Martin, those guys going 1 and 2 in the minute. Looks like the Argentinian is going to take it to the line. Ryan Martin's going to go through in 2. Yoshimura in 3, and Malafant works his way through into 4. That is the last of the last chance qualifiers for the elite men. Federico Villegas taking the win. Ryan Martin of Great Britain keeping the home crowd happy. He's in there in 2. He'll be looking for more in the 16th a little bit later on. And the next time we see the elite men, it will be in the 16th finals. 16th, 8th, quarters, semis and finals, so at least 5 more laps for these guys to go around the track today. 5 more full gas efforts as we move to elite women and their last chance qualifiers that will take them through to the quarters. So another quick question that's come through, Jason. I don't know, you might have the answer to this one with your contacts. Somebody's just queried the whereabouts of Corbin Sherrard today. Have you heard anything?
I haven't heard anything, but he did go down in round 1 in the main event, so you can see how he might be a little sore. Heat 1, elite women's start list. Petch, Veenstra, Juteau, Eberhard, and Granger. Petch opting for lane 1. Seems like all the women wanted to stay together on the gate in this lap. As we know, they do have lane choice. Last chance, heat number 1, elite women. Lane 2 with a nice initial pop, but Petch with the power down the first straight as she's going to go into the first corner and first. Looks like we have a move going on. Whoa! Triple move. Looked like Juteau going from 3rd to 2nd, or maybe even 4th to 2nd, but Petch running away with it into the 2nd corner, followed by Juteau. We'll see if Veenstra can make up some room. Not sure if she's going to be able to do it, but Petch just blasting these fools, as Todd Lyons would say. Smoking these fools. They're not fools. Anyways, Petch taking all the way into the last straight, followed by Juteau. Good 1 and 2. Unfortunately, Veenstra and Granger are done for the weekend.
Yeah, there was a nice move from Emma Juteau in that first turn. Like you said, she went from about, what, 4th to 2nd?
Yeah, that was a great move.
It was a great move, I agree. There is your official, Rebecca Petch, taking the win with Emma Jateau of France in 2. We'll see those elite women in the quarterfinals a little bit later on. As we move up to the gate for heat number 2 of the last chance qualifiers, Danny George from the USA, Andrea Escobar from Colombia, Eleanor Stafford from Great Britain, Molly Simpson out of Canada, and Vanessa Buldinskova of Latvia in there as well. So Danny George on the inside has yet another chance to work her way through into the next round. Looks like she's making it count, so she's going to lead into that first turn. Buldinskova on the outside, Escobar dropping underneath. Molly Simpson's in there in 4, Eleanor Stafford in 5, but it is Danny, the Danimal George, leading this one out into that second turn. The Colombian just tucked in nicely behind, just working her way down that third straight. Here comes Buldinska out of Latvia. Has she got anything for her in the final turn? She's going to try and duck underneath. Buldinska makes her move. Danny George holding on. Buldinska battling away with Escobar. Who's going to get it at the line? Buldinska! Oh, it was close. She just about held on. Buldinska right at the line, taking that second place.
Disappointing for Escobar, that is for sure. Especially coming down to the last straight, as the official is Danny George from the United States of America and Vanessa Buldinska from Latvia. Qualifying through on to the bigger, better, and brighter program. We move on to heat number 3. They look a little bit more spread out in the gate. Yabuda, Tuckshire, Peterson, Gonzalez, and Hill. Dana Tuckshire, Canadian national champion in lane 2. Vanessa Peterson, the Latvian national champion, lane 6. Down the hill they go. Looks like the Canadian off to a great start along with the Latvian. The Latvian edging her out, but not quite. The Canadian just slipping in there as the Japanese rider pulls out all the stops and jumps into second place into the first corner. So it's going to be Tuckshire, number 1, Yabuda in 2. We'll see if it holds on like this. Not sure if that's going to happen. Tuckshire going all the way into the last corner, still holding on to first place. Interesting line down the third straight she took, as Yabuda is in second, possibly in third. We'll see how they cross the finish line. Oh, Gonzalez beating out Yabuda, but Tuckshire holding on to the first. So what a disappointing ride for the Japanese rider, as the official is Tuckshire and Gonzalez. Yabuda, Peterson, and Hill are done.
Four riders lining up at the top of the hill for the last chance qualifiers for the elite women. Dominica Azzurro, Mackenzie Gayhart, Yui Hayakawa, and just giving herself a little bit of room down that first straight, Felicia Stanson. No Aliska Bartonkova in this one. She unfortunately will not be starting. Japanese rider got that gate completely wrong. She's at the back of the pack already, but look at Dominica Azzurro and Felicia Stansel going 1 and 2 into the turn. Mackenzie Gayhart, aka Skittles, she's in there in 3 at the minute, but it's another colourful lady out there in front. Dominica Azzurro, she's in the lead in this one, holding on to it. Stansel looking good and comfortable in 2. I think she just wants to get herself round this last chance qualifier, work her way into the quarterfinals. She looks like she's just keeping it nice and smooth going down that straight, but Azzurro, she's going to get this one. Felicia Stansel's going to get 2. Mackenzie Gayhart in 3, and Hayakawa of Japan going through in 4.
Definitely Stansel and Azzurro not used to being in a last chance qualifier. However, they make good on their names and get through onto the program. Unfortunately, everyone else is done.
No Drew McKeelson in that one either, unfortunately.
Next time we see the women, it will be the quarterfinals. We are now officially moving into single elimination rounds. 4th or better will keep you in the program. 5th or worse will send you packing. So that interview with Mark Willers and Kai was pretty funny, huh?
Yeah.
Mark seemed to have done some homework on the brothers White.
And the other thing I like about Mark is he's not scared to tell it as he sees it.
Well, you know, that's kind of that Kiwi thing, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. We will be hearing from him soon as we watch some race action. Rebecca Petch putting on a clinic of her own right there. Actually jumping across a couple lanes going into that first corner on that jump, eh?
Yeah, we saw that move
Yeah.
that Emma Jateau put in there, worked away from 4th to 2nd. Manon Veenstra was trying to dive the same line as well, but couldn't quite make it stick.
Yeah, there was almost a move there Veenstra had, but Jateau just shut her down in the last corner. Veenstra lost all her speed. Danny George, again, someone else who's not too accustomed to these last chance qualifiers. She had a pretty wild ride that first round, so I'm sure she just wanted a good, clean, strong lap. And here she is demonstrating just that.
Yeah, Buldinska and Escobar had a right old battle down that final straight and took it to the line. Buldinska just getting the better of it. Dana Tutscher here, out of Canada on the 49. And we need to give a shout out to the other Canadian on the 49, Tori Nyhawk.
Who's that?
Tori Nyhawk.
Who's that? Just kidding, Tori. We miss you. When you coming back?
So if we want to keep up with Tori, we've just got to listen to the coffee chatter,
To the coffee chatter.
of which I am a subscriber and a regular listener.
Asuero and Stancil making good use of this last chance qualifier as a reset or brush up before they head into single elimination. Asuero looking really fast this season. You could see that she put in quite a bit of work during the off season. And her Instagram shows it as well.
Yeah, and she definitely stands out on track. That's not a rider you're going to
Well,
miss. Well,
Asuero with the pink, Stancil with the purple. I like how certain riders have their colors.
Thing is, when you've got that style, you stand out on track, and it even, you know, gets the non-BMXers looking at it in a slightly different way.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Unfortunately, when you don't qualify through, you also stand out, and it's obvious that you're in a qualifier.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah, but yesterday I had my daughter here, and she saw Dominica Azzurro on track, and she went, "Ooh, I like her bike." So.
And then the next thing, it was, "Daddy, can I dye my hair pink?"
No, Robin, you can't.
Jeez, you just suck all the fun out of it.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll bend my ear about that one when I get back home. I'm only joking.
You're only joking. So, seems like Mark has found his next person that he'd like to talk to, so we're going to pitch.
We are here with Simone Christensen, last night's winner. We're waiting for Coach Liam, but that's okay. So first off, congratulations again on last night. Denmark's first ever World Cup champion. So how long have you been riding for? Did your brother start first, or did you show him the ropes?
Basically, he loved riding around on a little bike. Some people told my parents to go to the new track at our hometown. He was too girly to put on like the old sweaty helmets, and I obviously didn't care, so I did it, and he did it. So we basically started at the same time, and just had a big group of like loads of guys riding trails and just enjoying life. That was really fun that time.
And so is Copenhagen your hometown, or somewhere near there?
No, like 3 hours away. Just on the countryside I come from, so yeah, quite far away from Copenhagen, to be fair.
So how do you feel the girls' sports evolved over the last, well, since Beijing Olympics, basically? The whole sport's completely changed, but being here this weekend and being able to witness you guys ride, it's amazing to see you actually push through first jumps. Everyone's attacking rhythm sections and gaining speed and everything. It's a pretty clear positive in the sport.
Yeah, for sure. Like when I started, like it was all about like, I think I did some results because I was wild enough to just go do the first jump. Whereas now, like it's just not enough at all. Like before, it would be like, oh, the girls that dare to jump the first jump. Now, like people are just attacking it. I was like well surprised of the level when we started here in the Fridays practice. Like so many are just like such a high level, and I love it. It's good, and it makes it so exciting to see like who can actually show who's the best in the end of the day. So yeah, like it's crazy how much it evolved. And like, sorry, but like we're jumping pro section now, like pushing each other. And now I'm riding with Sai, and like, oh, we push each other so much. Like just jumping bigger jumps, jumping in like loads of wind and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, I have to say congratulations. We're this far through the interview and you haven't dropped another F-bomb like you did last night. So. Yes, so how long have you been working with her, and what have you seen change over the, well, I mean, you've seen it all. You've seen the lows, the highs, you've been in it all. Just tell me what's going on.
So Simone first joined just before Argentina last year, so the end of the World Cup season, and yeah, pretty much used the first, I guess, probably 4 or 5 weeks before that race just to try and understand where she's at, what she needs to improve on. And you know, for me, like trying to get a much better understanding of the women's side of the sport. You know, I'm not ashamed to say I didn't really pay any attention before. I think that, of course, I think every guy had been sort of impressed by, I think Mariana took the sport to a new level, and I think that the way in which she rode the bike was impressive for everybody to watch. But now I obviously have an avid interest in the women's side of the sport, and I mean, how much the men's side has progressed for sure, and the depth is massive, but the women now, like Simone said, we've come here, and it's pretty crazy for me. I sometimes have to hold them back. They want to jump pro sections, they want to jump the big jumps. So and then not only that, like times to the bottom of the ramp are getting faster, they're getting closer, and I think the general technicality of the women is through the roof. It's going over the last 10 years, and even since Rio. I think Rio, I used to watch racing, women's racing, and you'd have 2 semi-finals, and you'd know pretty much 4 and 4 would go through to the final. And I think now you have two racks of 8 that are pretty evenly split. So it's anybody's game, and it's what we said yesterday before the main. It's like it's there for the taking. Just go and get stuck in.
And how do you feel working with them? It's obviously paid off. First round, and you got the win.
Yeah, well, that's crazy. I don't think any of us expected that. But yeah, it's really good working with Liam. He's very black and white. So if it's shit, it's shit, and he tells you. If it's good, then you know it's good when he tells you it's good. So like very, very detail orientated, and I really like it. I think like now I've been maybe top 8 in the world for like quite a few years, and just haven't really been able to push it like to the top, and maybe sometimes got a podium here and there, but yeah, like it's so nice to see that all the stuff we've been working on has paid off. So it's really good working with him.
Do you think we're at the level where it's possible to have either a decision maker, like if you could turn right coming out of the first turn here, would you?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. It would be pretty sick. I think unfortunately it will also make some like crazy like crashes, because there's some girls out there that's just wild and would just go for it, and like even for like safety reasons, like we could never go like, the girls racing have progressed, but we could never go like 8 girls down that pro section. It's fine doing it on your own, but it's a different thing doing it in a race. So it's hard to tell, but it was pretty sick to jump it. I'll admit that.
Has he made you jump I haven't seen the second straight on Eagle in a couple of years, but he hasn't pushed you to do that yet?
It's a pretty big one, and the guys are making it look really difficult sometimes. But to be honest, I do really want to try it. There's often backwind. So yeah, like I think one day, probably not. There's a berm, probably not that one, but there's a double and a step up that would be pretty sick. But it is a pretty big jump. I know Sai tried the first one when she was a lot worse.
Great.
So I tried the first. How far did she get?
No, but it was before my time, and she did it fine, and you know, she was a lot slower then than she is now. So yeah, but she's brave. Like I won't go into stories, but you know, in Verona,
I think you should go into stories.
wow, Verona, she came to me, and I actually went round the back of the start in practice to find her, and I said, jump the second one, and then do a couple of pedals, and then just dab your brake before you, and then just do 2 and 2 on this big triple thing. And then she just said, no, I'm going to jump it. And I was like, and this is a point in coaching that I'm like, yeah, it's great, but I'm like constantly weighing up, you know, risk versus reward, and you know, I don't want them to get injured and whatnot. And I said, yeah, sure, like if you do it, then you need to go to the moon, you know. Anyway, yeah, she did it. She did it, but it was pretty crazy. And I think that we saw in Verona, like the 2 Smolder sisters jumped it, and then in Belgium, in Zolder, you know, both the first 2 girls to jump the one into first turn were Sai and Simone. So obviously, you know, from a training capacity, I think that they train with each other all the time and they push each other. But also, like, I think, you know, they have to trust that I make decisions based on their capabilities. I don't want them to get hurt, you know. So, yeah, both of, you know, she's progressed a lot technically. Sai is very good technically, and you know, it's pretty cool actually between the 2 of them. Sai is trying to build a bit of an engine and get faster. Simone has a good engine. Again, we're still trying to get that better. And I think between the 2 of them, they work really well, and they get, you know, it's quite cool for me to see 2 girls that compete hard, like they're on the track going, you know, we've done races here and they've cut each other off big time, and then they cross the finish line and they're training partners, but they're not scared to cut each other off, and they don't hold any, you know, they don't hold a grudge or whatever. Sorry, I've just got the world champ in my ear. I think he's desperate to get on camera.
Sylvain's waiting for his slot in the corner here, but he's getting mad that I keep bumping him back a slot.
No, he's a good guy. But I think, yeah, just to sum up that, like, you know, I think testament to, like, in terms of female progression, I think, you know, I'm really proud to see 2 of the athletes that I work with, you know, go out and they push the boundaries. And I know I'm not an idiot. In the next few years, like, we're bound to, you know, they're bound to try something that maybe, you know, is too risky and there's a crash or whatever. But, you know, so far they've stepped up and delivered at every time that I've sort of set the benchmark. And yeah, more often than not, now I'm actually having to say, nah, maybe not. We'll hold off. So yeah, good. It's pretty cool.
Hopefully Sire's doing okay after a crash yesterday, and she's braver than me, because even I never attacked that jump. Right, thank you guys very much for coming, and good luck again today, and see if you can get that double.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Well, I'll give it my best. Okay.
All right, thank you. Back up to the trailer. Oh.
We told her that there was the bonus for the double, and then when we told her last night, it was like, right, game changer, because I think she wants to buy a new coffee machine. So let's see. Fingers crossed, huh?
Coffee time. Let's do it. All right. Thank you.
Good afternoon and welcome back.